Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Board of Commissioners meeting for Wednesday, June 8th. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our inspirational word this week comes from the book of Matthew, and actually it was cited at a Community West Foundation meeting this week. I think it's appropriate. Book of Matthew states, "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Madam Clerk, if you please call the roll.
Commissioner Lundy,
Here.
Commissioner Hung,
Here.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Okay, this morning at 9:45, we'll have a public hearing, but since it's scheduled for 9:45, we're only allowed to start at 9:45, right?
Or thereafter.
So,
yes.
or thereafter, so we'll get into some of the board business, and we'll come back to that at 9:45. So I guess we'll begin with resolutions.
Number one, investments.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number two, appropriations.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number three, transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number four, advances, repayments. There were none. Number five, requisitions.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, I'll be abstaining from number 1091.
Okay.
Anything further? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Approved with the abstention on 1091.
Number six, travel.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number seven, bills.
So
moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number eight, authorize various personnel actions indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorraine County Commissioners. At the conclusion of today's board meeting, the Commissioners may recess an executive session to discuss personnel, new hires, and board appointments. Number nine, approve and waive the reading of the Commissioners' meeting minutes of May 25th.
Second.
So move. In the second. Okay.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 10, accept the withdrawal of Attorney Gretchen Holderman for petitioner Grafton Village, Mayor David DeVenzio, agent for Grafton Township for a muni-owned annexation of 121.40 acres.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Did you want to give any clarification on this?
This is an issue that we have talked about, I believe, in the past, in general terms. I think we've also discussed it a little bit in executive session. I think I've spoken with Mr. Holderman, Ms. Holderman. I've talked with Mr. Schrader as well for the petition, or for the township. I think likely the result of this is my office is probably going to seek counsel from the Attorney General, because there's a hole in the law here on one of the issues with the municipal annexation. So as that process develops, I will keep the board informed.
A hole in the law.
I know, weird, isn't it? Lawyers usually know everything.
Yeah, I was
Every
gonna
once
say.
in a while, we miss one, so.
Wow.
I thought they just
The
had opinions,
legislature.
not no.
Well, that's why I'm asking for an opinion from the Attorney General. I may ask for an opinion from the Attorney General.
Anything further? Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Number 11, approve and execute a letter of engagement with Cooper Elliott, attorneys at law, Columbus, for outside counsel for certain legal matters relating to the Elixir RX Solutions. Authorize administrator to execute a letter of engagement on behalf of the Commissioners.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
12, approve and enter an agreement with treatment for tuberculosis with Mercy Health Regional Medical Center in Lorraine in the amount of $360,400, effective retroactive to January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, and this will be paid from the contract services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I just think it's important for everybody to know that this is a requirement under the Ohio Revised Code You know, a lot of people think, well, how often do you hear of cases of tuberculosis? But they do still happen.
They do, and we are required by the revised code to maintain one.
I'm sure with the open borders, we're going to keep seeing a lot more of it.
To me, it's a better safe than sorry kind of situation. So
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, always got to plan for the worst, so. Okay,
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Children and Families Council, 13, approve and enter in contract with Foundations for Living in the amount of $10,735.25 for the purchase and delivery of services for the Ohio Family and Children First, effective May 10th, 2022 through June 3rd, 2022, and will be paid from the contract services account.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 14, amendment resolution 22-192 adopted March 15, 2022, and entering in contract with Neighborhood Alliance in the amount of $110,116.25 for the purchase and delivery of services for the Help Me Grow Early Intervention Program fiscal year 22. Said amendment is to reflect the correct time period retroactive from July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023.
So move,
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
15, amendment resolution 22-291, adopted April 20, 2022, entering into a contract with Lorraine County Board of Disabilities in the amount of $77,510 for the purchase and delivery of services for the Early Intervention Program for fiscal year 22 and 23. Amendment is to reflect the correct time period retroactive from July 1st, 21 through June 30th, 2023.
So move,
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
16, approve and enter in a contract with Hiddle House in the amount of $20,350 for the purchase and delivery of services for the Ohio Family and Children First, effective retroactive to April 18, 2022 through June 30, 2022, and paid from the contract services account.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Community Development, 17, and an incentive district as created through Lorraine County Resolution 08374 in Eaton Township, and related development agreement with North Grafton Realty dated May 28, 2008. Authorized transfer any remaining TIF account funds to Lorraine County General Fund, including any future collections.
So move,
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Do you want me to continue, or do you want to go into the public hearing?
Yeah, we'll do one more under community development.
18, award various contracts for homeowners to receive grant assistance from CHIP Program Year 20 home repair activities for home repair assistance, which includes contingencies for any unforeseen change orders. These were the most responsive compliant with specifications and will be paid from the account CHIP Program Year 20 contract services. 1, Green Home Solutions Cleveland in the amount of $13,282.50 for Joe Vance at 12245 Easton Boulevard, Grafton, for home repair work to include roof replacement, gutter replacement, water heater, vent repair. 2, GenMet Construction, Inc., Lorraine, in the amount of $40,670.30 for Brenda McCumber at 689 Irving Park Boulevard, Sheffield Lake, Ohio, for repairs for electrical rewire, window replacement, furnace, and AC replacement, handrail, plumbing repairs, kitchen exhaust hood. And 3, Green Home Solutions, Cleveland, in the amount of $58,905 for Tim Upton at 665 Idlewood Avenue, Sheffield Lake, for home repair to include electrical rewire, gutter repair, ADA ramp, windows, exterior doors, basement step, handrail, drain line replacement, water line replacement, shower valve replacement, kitchen exhaust hood, plumbing repairs, bathroom flooring, pantry, kitchen interior door, kitchen base trim, and lead work.
Easy for you to say.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Okay, I think at this point, Madam Clerk, we'll go to our public hearing.
We have the second public hearing today on the CDBG Program Year 22 with Drake Hopewell and Tiffany Shevar.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having us again. I am here representing Community Development and representing your program, the Community Housing Impact and Improvement Strategy Program, better known as CHIP. It's a preservation program for housing and housing repair or housing rehabilitation for income-eligible households. The program has been operated through your Community Development Department for at least the last 25 years, providing valuable services to those, in many cases, that could not afford them on their own. So it's been a great program, and this is an opportunity for us to submit for the next 2-year cycle for the program, and that's what we're just about completed with as of today. And Tiffany Shaver is here. She's the program administrator and also the one that helps us to put together the applications, and she's here to talk about the application process and where we're at right now, just before we can hopefully get your approval to finally submit. Thank you. Tiffany?
Thank you, Drake. Good morning. As Drake mentioned, I'm Tiffany Shaver with Great Lakes Community Action Partnership, or GLCAP. We are your program administrator currently for your PY20 application, and just were procured again for your PY22 application. Lorain County, in partnership with the cities of Oberlin, Sheffield Lake, North Ridgeville, and then new this year would be the city of Amherst, has been added to the application. As in Lorain County being the grantee in the application, we have been working to prepare the application to submit to the state of Ohio Department of Development under the PY22 Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program. The request for funding includes community development block grant funds, home funds, and Ohio Housing Trust funds. They are all the community development block grant and the and the home funds are HUD. The Ohio Housing Trust funds are state funds. The Lorain County and the cities have agreed to partner for the PY22 application. You all have entered into a partnership agreement. Doing this has made the application more competitive and will bring more funds to the community. The initial public hearing, as you may remember, I was here on April 19th to cover the general information about the funding, and today the purpose of today's hearing is to prevent the citizens and yourselves the information about the intended request for the CHIP, what we intend to apply for under the CHIP program. The program operating area for the Lorain County CHIP program would be the county, all of the partner cities, and it would not cover the entitlement cities of Lorain and Elyria. They get their funds directly from HUD. The request will include hard costs and soft costs. Hard costs are the funds we pay directly to the contractors for the work they perform. The soft costs are much like the behind-the-scenes costs. They're for pest inspection, lead inspections, the costs for our inspector going out and inspecting the home. The following activities were given priority based on the information gathered during the housing assessment process. This process involved, we held a housing needs assessment meeting here at the building. We distributed questionnaires to area housing advisors. We also, I reviewed assessments that were available throughout the county. The activities that rose to the top based on the needs of the county that could fill the gaps that were needed are the private owner rehabilitation. The private owner rehabilitation, this activity is where the inspector goes in, does a complete inspection of the home. They identify all of the deficiencies of the home for anything that it does not meet the residential rehab standard. This is the standard that the state of Ohio puts out in conjunction with the CHIP program, and everything in the home must meet that standard. And then the specifications are written, then the home is brought up to that standard. There is a mortgage put on the home for the first 5 years that the homeowner lives in the home. The percentage of it is forgiven. After the first 5 years, it is 100% forgiven. The homeowner must be 80% of area median income, so it is for low and moderate income folks. Applications are ranked on a priority scale with the highest score applicants being considered first. This funding that we will be requesting will be for the private owner rehab activity will be $928,000. This will be a mix of CDBG and home funds. The split of that is determined by the state. Once they would fund the grant, then they would determine the split. The other activity that we are proposing in your application to be funded is the owner home repair. Much like the owner rehab, this activity, the inspector does a full inspection of the home. The difference being, instead of identifying all of the deficiencies, they are identifying the deficiency of greatest need. Typically, these are health and safety issues. They are issues if there's seniors that want to age in place. We can do ADA modifications, those types of things. The homeowner is 80% of area median income. This is a grant to the homeowner. The different, and I'm going to back up a second, because this funding would be CDBG or it could be OHTF funded. If the funds are chosen to be funded for a homeowner that would be OHTF funded, it would be 50% there of area median income. This activity is capped at 30% of the grant, and because it is typically a very popular one, we usually max that out, and so that is $480,000. In previous grants, the state will, when they send out the application instructions, they will say the activity level is maximum assistance per grant is, for example, like the private owner rehab had been $67,000 was the maximum that we could put into a home. And then for the same for the owner home repair, it had previously been $18,000. But now, due to the current economic state and rising costs of construction materials, the Office of Community Development will be evaluating project limit increases annually versus putting them into the application period, and then we'll we'll publish project limits, and then that will be for any open program at that time when that memo is released. So currently, as of April 7th, 2022, the project limits for hard and soft costs for projects are for owner rehab is $75,000 and owner repair is $22,000. And so that's where we're at currently for any open projects. So for example, you currently have a 20 program that we are administering for you, so that actually was in effect for that program too. Kind of backing up a little bit, just a little nugget of information there. The balance of the funds for this project will be for project administration, and this is split. It's primarily will be paid to Great Lakes Community Action Partnership as your program administrator, but then a portion of it then the county will keep, because we are sharing the administrative duties with the Community Development Department here, and that is $192,000, and that is funded with home and CDBG funds. The funds and the partnership agreement that you entered into is distributed between the partners, and that is identified through the attachment that we had distributed previously. And the, just kind of running through it very quickly, the owner rehab, Lorain County, will have 200, and these are budgeted numbers, but it's based on, what we're in your partnership agreement. Lorain County will have 232,000 in the owner rehab activity. City of Oberlin will have 174. City of Sheffield Lake will have 174. City of North Ridgeville will have 203. And City of Amherst will have 145,000. That's the total 928. Then for the owner repair, the Lorain County will have 120,000. City of Oberlin will have 90,000. City of Sheffield Lake will have 90,000. City of North Ridgeville will have 105,000. City of Amherst will have 75,000. for the total home repair of $480,000. In addition to those funds, the program income has been committed to the project as well. There is a total between Lorain County, City of Oberlin, and City of North Ridgeville. They had program income balances for a total of $202,000 that will be committed to the project as well. The application is due to the Office of Community Development June 22nd. The CHIP program is very competitive, and there is no guarantee of funding. Does anybody have any questions about the program?
Questions? That's this June 22nd?
Correct.
Wow, it's a short timeline.
We've been working on it,
Okay.
yeah, a while, and you all have probably seen the resolutions and stuff coming through, but yeah, this is kind of, we're getting to the end of it, but yes, it's due soon.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's important for people to know, they need to know that you need to go to Lorraine or Elyria if you're seeking funding in this area. Often they think that we have the dollars available for all the communities in Lorraine County,
Correct,
and that's not the
yes.
case.
Yes, when they're entitlement communities and they get the funds directly from HUD,
Right.
we are not able to administer those, from the county standpoint. That's correct.
I was just curious, because I don't think I've ever seen like before and after photos. Are those ever taken, or is it because it's a private residence, you don't necessarily take those photos, or how does?
There is absolutely before and after photos, and if that's something that you're interested in seeing, I would be more than happy to let our operations department know that, and we can definitely get some of those for you, because it is quite impressive to see in many cases, the work that is done. It's kind of nice to see where the money goes.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out, we're not an HGTV show here. We're not trying to, have all these fancy interior designs. It's just basic stability.
It is.
Something that's workable and reasonable.
Correct, yes, I will make a note of that and make sure that we get those over to Drake and Ian, and that they pass them on to you, that you guys can see some of the before and after photos that, of some of the work that is done, yes.
I know a lot of it's electrical, plumbing, types of things that you're not going to see pictures of. So flooring and things of that nature, but, okay.
Some of the best ones to see are when we do a lot of very common ones, like I mentioned, are seniors that age in place. We will go in and do, like bathroom modifications, and those are some of, like, the pictures before and after are most impressive to see. But yes, we can definitely make arrangements to get you some before and after photos.
Great. Okay,
Any other questions?
no other questions from the board. Drake, do you have any closing comments?
Well, basically, the program does a yeoman's job, I think, each and every year that we've been in place. A lot of people are benefited. Usually, there's probably somewhere between 50 to 75 projects that get done in the 2-year cycle. So that's 50 to 75 households that benefit because of the program that you guys have supported and funded over the years. So we look forward to submitting a competitive application here by the 22nd, and hopefully we get the full amount of funding so we can help a large number of households again going forward. Thank you.
You definitely want contractors to reach out to your office so that they can compete for these opportunities.
Without a doubt, that we definitely are looking for contractors. Matter of fact, if I can just reiterate, all the work that gets done under the CHIP program is done by the contractor base. Typically, it's general contractors, but we also work with trade contractors as well. We see a lot of roofs that get done under the program, so a lot of roofing contractors have the opportunity to bid on jobs. We see a lot of plumbers, as you indicated, and tradesmen, plumbing, heating, electrical. That work gets done. A lot of times, again, that's usually by generals that then hire out the trades as subs. But we definitely have a great deal of opportunity. This program presently under the 20 program that's still ongoing, which you approved earlier, some projects, that was about $1 million worth of work over a 2-year period. If we're successful this time, the contractors will have about $1.3 million to potentially bid on over the 2-year period, starting January 1st of 23 through 25.
Okay, we'll walk them through the paperwork, because sometimes contractors may think they don't want to get involved in a government program because there's too many steps to go through, but we'll walk them through it, right?
Absolutely, we'll do just that, whether it's directly through our department here in community development or through Great Lakes Community Action Partners. We'll do either or, because at the end of the day, we're only successful as having good, reputable contractors in the program and doing and completing the work for us.
Okay. And since this is a public hearing, anyone with any questions, comments at this time? Okay, seeing none. So at this point, Madam Clerk, I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Anything further? Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll return to our agenda. I believe we're at number 19 on the dog kennel, am I correct?
Correct. Accept a proposed monetary and security-based donation from generous benefactor who wishes to remain anonymous, Lorraine County Dog Kennel. Authorize administrator to execute paperwork and otherwise take all actions necessary to accept the donation.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion?
Yes. This particular donation came to our attention a couple of months ago. It is a market-based donation, which is why we can't have the amount of the donation in there. We've been working to set up the accounts to receive the donation, and I had opportunity to go over and speak with Dog Warden Tim Pilblad regarding his needs over at the dog kennel. And for those of you who follow along on Facebook, we are quite frequently at capacity for the large kennels. Director Pilblad would like to use the funds to do an addition to build some larger kennels and maybe some extra viewing rooms. So he does have a vision on what he wants to do here. And I certainly hope that, I think when the donation is completed, I think that we are probably going to need to support from the commissioners with additional funds to make this happen, and I certainly hope that my fellow commissioners will be on board with that idea when it comes to us. And also one other thing, Mr. President, I wanted to thank the volunteers over there.
They're amazing.
They just do an incredible job and aren't given the credit that they so deserve. So thank you to each and every one of them for what they do.
Yeah, I think we say that all the time, that we have a successful kennel because of all the volunteers. And when I say all the volunteers, I mean all the volunteers. We have a lot of them who donate their time and help out and are very passionate about the issue. And, we certainly, we've been able to run a good operation over there and not having to put, pets down and, which was a, pretty bad pattern in the past, but we were able to get away from that. So, so if you're looking for a dog, what do they say? Don't, what's the line? Don't shop, adopt. Don't shop, adopt. There you go. So, so take advantage of it.
I had one more thing.
Sure.
It's Commissioner Moore's turn. Did he have something?
Do you have anything?
Oh, I didn't know I had a turn. Thanks.
Well, usually we go, each of us go before the next one.
fine.
No, you're good.
Okay. Also, too, I see member of the media here. This would be a great story if you want to go over there and interview Warden Pilblad to see where he's at and what's going on over there. Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes, I guess we're voting to accept the donation, correct? But
Correct.
we're not voting to be handcuffed that we have to give him money, right? Okay, I just
No,
want to make sure
just
we
accept it.
understand that. Okay, good. I'll be voting yes to accept the
Okay.
donation. Okay, thank you.
Golden Acres, number 20, approved change order 1 to ENVI Environmental LLC, Elyria, in the amount of $62,775 for the abatement of Golden Acres. This is to remove additional asbestos that was discovered on 2 abandoned piping systems that were hidden in the walls and upper ceilings and will be paid from the Q Construction Capital Improvement Account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I'm not a big
go
fan
ahead.
of change orders, but it sounds like this piping obviously wasn't something they were aware of and was hidden in some way. I don't know if our,
That's what Dan was telling and Karen were saying. I guess Karen wants to speak. Go ahead.
Good morning. I really wasn't aware that we were going to speak on this today, but during the bidding process, we allow the contractors to come in and do a site visit, but there is no destructive testing or anything that they do. So they weren't able to get into all the nooks and crannies to see what was in there. So when they started tearing that stuff out, they did discover, I think, 2 additional pipe chases. And there's asbestos insulation on those pipes, and that's what we're having to take out. And then the building, after it's fully abated, it'll be ready for demolition.
So do you have a date yet for the demo?
Not yet. I anticipate, I would say within the next 30 to 45 days.
Don't they have
They
till
should
September
start.
1st to be completed, or?
Pardon me?
I thought they'd be completed by September 1st. Wasn't it June 1st?
For demolition?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Are they done with the abatement?
Not yet.
Oh,
They-
okay. Looked like they were. That's-
Well, they have to wait for this change order to be approved
Oh,
before they can
okay.
do this last portion.
Okay,
So we don't authorize work prior to approval.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Good answer.
good answer.
If you don't like change orders, you haven't done enough construction.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah, well, I used to see an individual with a big boat, and the name of his boat was Change Order 2, TOO. I'm sure that made his customers very happy, so, okay.
I like that.
It's a true story.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Job and Families, approve an MOU with JFS relating to 4D contracts and authorize a one-time payment of $500,000 from a general fund allocation account.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Sanitary Engineer 22, award and enter in contract with Northeast Ohio Trenching Services, Inc., Warrensville Heights, Ohio, in the amount of $269,715 for the Oberlin Road North Sewer Extension Improvement Number 129 project. 3 bids were open on May 19th, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications. This will install 577 linear feet of 15-inch sanitary sewer along Overland Road, northerly up State Route 2 overpass. Also includes the installation of 6-inch sanitary laterals, manholes, and pavement repairs. A notice to proceed will be issued and will be completed by October 31st, 2022. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release completion of project and will be paid from the Sanitary Engineer Overland Road Sewer Capital Improvement Fund account.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Stormwater Management, 23, award contract to Garza Dirt Works LLC, Clyde, in the amount of $38,574.50 for the Earhart Road ditch restoration. 4 bids were open on May 12th, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications, and will be paid from the stormwater account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Don, do you have anything you want to add on this one? You're here, so I figure we might as well ask you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Real quick, the project was originally estimated to be about $60,000. So at this time, where bids typically are coming in well above, one of the things I'd like to thank Carl Wiesmeyer and township trustees there is they worked with Peters Wick. And we're disposing of the dirt on the adjacent property with farmers who will put the sediment that came off of farm fields back onto the farm fields. And that is one of the main reasons why this project came in substantially under budget. So even where we're typically used to things coming in 20, 30, 40% over what original estimates were, here's an example of where we came in almost 40% under estimate. So I want to thank everyone for their work in making sure we can do these stormwater projects in a cost-responsible manner. Thank you.
So they're volunteering and to haul the dirt away.
No, they're actually going to put it adjacent to
That's
the
what I'm
ditch,
saying,
but
that
spread
they're-
it, yeah.
they're
So
doing all
we,
the work and we're not, I mean,
right, gets rid of a lot of transportation costs and a lot of time and effort, so.
yeah,
I
$5
did
a
wanna-
gallon.
Probably diesel, so more.
Thanks.
So thank you very much, Board.
Thank you.
Thanks for the good work on this.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Clerk Courts, number 24, rescind Resolution 21-513, adopted August 11, 2021, entering the MOU between the Commissioners and Clerk Courts to provide IT services.
Move to approve.
Second,
Discussion. Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got to vote out of turn there.
Oh,
Sorry.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay. 25, approve and enter an MOU with commissioners to provide IT services to clerk courts in the amount of $20,000 annually effective August 1st, 2022.
So move.
Guess I'll second it.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Engineer 26, enter in a settlement agreement and release of all claims with Mr. Wilbert J. Plass of 1644 Grafton Road, Carlisle. In 2020, Engineer and Stormwater District completed a drainage improvement to alleviate flooding, and correction needs to be made to the installation of the current catch basins and related pavement.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under the Sheriff, 27, authorize Sheriff to apply for the 2022 Department of Justice Cops Grant in the amount of $990,000 to fund 3 deputies for 3 years, and authorize an allocation of $247,500 as the local match to be paid from the 9% salary account.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
No, I just think any time that we have an opportunity to make it possible for more deputies or more law enforcement, that's always a good thing for the families and the community. And anytime you have the opportunity to receive some federal dollars and do some matches, I say it all the time. If somebody showed up at your door and said they wanted $2 from you and they gave you $8 back, you'd probably do that all day long, right? So, but anytime we can take advantage of grant opportunities and also, put more deputies out there into the community, I think it's a good thing. The only thing I always caution people about is this is for 3 years, though. So it all comes down to where we're at financially in 3 years after that, the sustainability of it.
Yeah, the way I read this is, I don't think we're looking to hire, it's looking to fund 3 deputies for 3 years. Is that about how you see it? Or, sorry, we should have brought you up, huh?
Well, we're all currently understaffed to begin with,
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I was,
Yeah, no, under the federal grant, these do have to be new hires
have to be new hires.
at an entry level. We take that into account. Our budget's always biggest problem is equipment and people, and they all rotate out routinely. So we understand that this is a 3-year grant. We're continuously looking for alternate funding methods if the general fund isn't there. We have the unfortunate game plan of, we know we're going to have people retire out, and we look at that in advance of whether we're going to replace those 3 positions or not. We'd like to build up as much as we can, but we understand how budgets work. So at this time, like Commissioner Lundy said, the money is there. We'd be silly not to take advantage of it while we can and get 3 more bodies on the road for the community.
Yeah, we've participated in COPS grants in the past, have we not?
We have, and a lot of times it's either the match that's involved
Right.
that doesn't make it beneficial, or some of the other restrictions. Right now is a good opportunity to try for that again.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. How's the hiring process going? Challenging?
We are moving right along.
Okay.
We have quite a few in field training right now, and we've got another set lined up in backgrounds right now, so we're staying on track.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, thank you for all that you do, and this is going to be important for the county and the families as well. So,
Absolutely, thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
I'd just like to say thank you to our deputies who are out there every day working hard for us, and I am proud to partner with the sheriff on this project, on this grant money.
Anything else? Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Right.
Commissioner Moore?
aye.
Under Veterans, authorized payment of $1,000 to Andrus Crematory and Funeral Home, Lorraine, for indigent veteran Sidney Todd, Elyria, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 5901.25.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
29, authorized payment of $1,000 to Andrus Crematory and Funeral Home, Lorraine, for indigent veteran Johnny Ray Rister, Sheffield Lake, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 5901.25.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Sorry, that was my daughter.
It's okay.
Commissioner Hung. Okay.
It happens to all of us at
Dance
one
or
time or
something
another,
going on.
so, yeah.
She's got her own ring.
She's got her own ring.
and that's it.
Okay. If you need to take that call, go ahead.
I only,
I know when family calls, I'm always concerned, so.
She's on summer break, so she's probably wanting to do something.
Oh, I see, okay. Let's see, we've reached the public comment section of the meeting, and we have Mr. DiCarlo, who signed up to speak here today on government accountability. Good morning, sir. Like the purple. Good color.
Good color today, our announcer. Michael DiCarlo, 320 Alberta, Vermilion. Good morning, Mr. President and Commissioners. Again, on government accountability, you have to consider, I'm a veteran and I'm a submarine veteran, so when it comes to standing alone in a room, I'm used to that, okay? These federal radio systems and everything, if you figure I went in the Navy in 1988. It shows my age, right? So I'm in my mid-50s. I left a country that was, pseudo-free, but they still charged a fee. Everybody got there, brave, but everybody was still a tax slave. It was kind of a joke. I came back to a country after I retired in 2008, and then part of motivating coming here is I came back to a country that we've empowered the government to have more information about, personal identifying information about us than the KGB had. So every time that you're enabling these radio systems and this data collection on your citizens, you really, if you could understand the personal identifying information that is involved and the quality of folks that are supposed to be safeguarding it, that is my real big concern. I think I demonstrated that a month ago or so, whatever, in the statements I made. But the capabilities and limitations of these systems, gentlemen, ma'am, these are important things for you to consider, and I would ask that you ask about these capabilities. Does it have this ability? Can it be used for that? And we almost like, to the point where we've gotten y'all to almost like bow down and worship every time an officer of either a police officer or the sheriff's department comes up here or a fire chief comes up here, and you act like that's the most dangerous job in the world. I'm a retired submariner. That's not even on the top 10 list, right? They're not in the top 10 either, all right? But loggers are, fishermen, aircraft pilots, roofers, truck drivers, trash truck drivers, farmers, structural iron and steel workers, construction and landscapers are all much more dangerous than submarining, obviously, and also noted in there, much more dangerous than fighting a fire and being a policy enforcer, which is what policing has actually turned into.
But they're being targeted, so I'm going to have to disagree.
That's okay. All right, so we've solicited the local folks have solicited to use a federal system instead of the MARC system. What I'm trying to communicate to you, the MARC system being the state system, okay? State's MARC's radio system. The state has responsibilities to its employees. Okay, if these folks want to use federal systems and everything, I would recommend they join the Army. That way maybe they could understand and comprehend the capabilities and limitations of these radio systems. And I got nothing but love, really. This isn't about the people, this is about the process, okay? This is all about trying to lift the level of understanding, okay? Because I know that the base of everybody's ignorant about this. That's part of the reason why we're able to exploit it against our enemies. I will refuse to sit quietly while it's done to our own citizens. Have a great week. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. DiCarlo. Almost right on time there, sir. 3:09. You're good at this. Up next, public comment. Frank Whitfield, I think that's the mayor of Elyria, is it not? Yep. Good morning, Mayor. See Mr. Ballard, Mr. Williams with you. Good morning, gentlemen.
Okay, welcome, Mayor.
How are you, Mayor?
Doing pretty good, pretty good.
Welcome.
Good morning. Commissioners. Glad to be with you this morning. The reason I'm here today is because I know because of sunshine, I can't meet with you all any other way together. But I want to provide some context about the mall, and then hopefully this is a formal invitation for us to work together to try to come up with a solution for it. So as I've shared many times, the mall has been dying for 25 plus years. It's the most important property in the city, arguably the county, with its access to various highways. And we know retail has been disrupted. My mother worked there for 20 plus years, and as that retail declined, her business went out, the business she worked for went out, and she had to move on. And so I felt personally the impacts of the decline at the mall. And so it's a strong passion of mine to see this thing get turned around. And so when I got in office, we were excited to work with Industrial Commercial Properties, who owns the Dillard's property, as well as the Sears Auto and the Sears Department Store property, because they had such an amazing track record around Ohio of converting malls into industrial sites where good paying jobs. They've done it in Brooklyn, Ohio, done it throughout Ohio. And so we're really excited about working with them. But the challenge was getting site control for them over the rest of the mall that had been purchased online in an auction about 8 years ago from a group called NAMDAR. And that group, that their expertise isn't necessarily redeveloping malls, so they're kind of just doing what they do. But ICP came and said, hey, we have a vision to really convert this mall to do what we've done in the past. So we spent the next 16 months really working with City Council, working with our economic development professionals to come up with a package to help them get control of the site. But the challenge was the price point that NAMDAR was willing to sell was not market rate. It was too high of a price point. So they needed the city to come step in and help close the gap to make the numbers make sense. I presented that to my city council at the time. There was a lot of questions about it and a lot of indecision, and that ship somewhat sailed. And as time went on, as we tried to renegotiate, NAMDAR saw that there was some momentum, including us recruiting one of a very reputable healthcare organization I think you'll all be meeting with here soon, to locate up there at the site with this broader vision. And as they learned of that, they said, all right, we no longer want to be out of the game. We want to be a part of the redevelopment there. And so, one of my commitments to that healthcare partner was to ensure that they wouldn't be the only thing out there at the mall, that they wouldn't end up on an island out there. And so I'm still committed to that, whether it's, and I think ICP, they're a reputable organization. Part of our deal was for them to make over $25 million of investment to help convert that mall from, the retail space it is to 7 to 8 light industrial warehouse factories that they would, help secure tenants to get in. We still think that's the right vision for the space. I understand that there's a desire for a convention center. Commissioner Lundy and I have had conversations about that for a while.
Mayor, I'll make the motion to give the mayor an additional 3 minutes to speak.
So just formality,
Oh,
Mayor.
yeah, for sure. Sorry about that.
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, thank you for that, Commissioner Hung. And so, yeah. We still believe in that vision. We think there is space for a convention center or something like that up there. We're not agnostic or we're not antagonistic toward that. We think there's an opportunity for that, but we do think we need to take advantage of this opportunity to bring high-paying industrial jobs. I had the blessing to be with both of the commissioners. Commissioner Hung was there, I know for sure. I think at the Ford plant. Both of you were there at the Ford plant. So when I was there was somebody from Ford who came up to me who somehow had some experience in Elyria, and he's like, we're going to have supply chain needs because of this here. What's up with the mall? And I said, I'm going to be talking with the commissioners about that. My hope is that we do create some spaces for some light industrial tenants there. So again, this is my way of trying to have the conversation with all of you at once legally, and to be able to, offer that opportunity for us to work together to redevelop the mall. So, thank you.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're all passionate about, wanting to see the mall be successful. I tell people in Elyria, the second question that comes up all the time right after jobs is, what are you doing about the Midway Mall, or what can you do about the Midway Mall? So, but I know that certainly, because of the way things are structured, we can always, meet individually one-on-one with you, and, but I hear your concern, and, it's a great location. It's an awesome location. I mean, how many locations have a turnpike exit that dumps you right at the front door, right? So, and then you have 90 right there as well. So, so no one can ever say they can't get access to that area, or it's not a good access point. But I know you're very passionate about it, and I know that we'd love to see it develop too. So, and we definitely want to partner with you, work with you going forward.
Okay.
So-
Is there a way to have an executive session, since this is dealing with real estate, to talk about more detail, or is this something that we can only talk about in the public forum?
I probably would want to talk to council, your
Okay.
council, and figure out how we can work it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather talk to your council.
Okay, we'll do that.
Figure out how we can do it the right way.
Okay, we'll coordinate that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ballard. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Join us this morning. Drop in anytime. No one else has signed up for public comment? Okay. And at this point, we will move on to County Administrator J.R. White. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I appreciate you allowing me to make this announcement on behalf of the board and the Board of County Commissioner in my office as County Administrator. We're proud to announce that Karen Perkins has decided to come aboard as my Deputy Administrator. She's a Lorain County native and resident who earned her bachelor's degree in business administration from Kent State. She's been employed by the county since 1990. So she has over 30 years of experience in moving these projects forward, is really what she had done in her prior position. Her institutional knowledge, as you guys know, is just indispensable. She knows why things happened, when they happened, and how to move them forward. So she started with her first day on June 6th, and I'm proud to call her my partner now in this and moving forward in this job. And I look forward to the future. Thank you guys for the opportunity to bring her aboard.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
And, yeah, just Karen, we're real excited to have you on the, well, you've always been on the leadership team, just a different role. And I was wondering, 1990, were there dinosaurs still walking the earth in 1990? It was a long time ago, but anyhow.
Please don't do the math.
Long time ago.
We're gonna have a tough week now.
I know.
I promised I would be brief, so I just wanted to thank the board for giving me the opportunity. I'm excited to be a part of the management team, and I look forward to working with everybody. So, let's see what happens next, huh?
Plenty of things to keep busy, right?
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
you know about that all too well. So,
Thank you
well,
again.
great, we're real excited and real happy for you as well. Okay, let's see, next, the man who's always got something for us, the Assistant County Prosecutor. Sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. And once again, I don't really have a report. There is one piece of current litigation we can discuss in executive session if the board goes into it. I also look forward to working with Karen. Been working with her for a long time now together, and I'm sure she will manage to keep JR on pace and moving forward, absolutely. So welcome, and you will regret it by the end of the day today.
She probably does.
I know I'd like to include personnel matters and potential purchase or sale.
Personnel matters including hiring, firing, as the clerk stated, potential purchase and sale of real estate, and one piece of continuing current litigation would be the purpose for executive session.
Great. Thank you, sir. Let's see, up next we have Commissioner's Report. Commissioner Moore.
Yeah, about 8 months ago, I sat and discussed with Jacob Smith at Veteran Service Commission and a majority of his board. They invited me over and we had a nice discussion. And we've discussed it here on this board several times in regards to the process to take care of our vets and the process to take care of our, especially vets, in a timely manner. And the way government operates, it just takes forever. So what happened was, in that meeting, they shared with me Children's Services and how they operate and why can't they? And so I looked at it and it was common sense. But in government, sometimes that's kind of hard to pull because a lot of things are controlled by Columbus and at the State House. And so we worked as a team here. Lorraine County took the lead. This board took the lead last year. We approved a resolution to support the Veteran Service Commission to use their credit cards, which is the same as Children's Services. You know, when a homeless vet comes to their door, they will have the ability to house that vet, get him on his feet, and get him a job, get him some work boots. And a lot of times the stories I hear are they show up with a van where they're living in, but they have a job. They just started a job 3-4 weeks ago, but they don't have the necessary support just to get over that hump, to get them into in some form of housing. So the Lorraine County took the initiative, and we probably stepped on a lot of toes. We didn't go through the CCOA. Veteran Services didn't go through their chain of command. What we did is we worked directly with Nate Manning, our Lorraine County Senator, and he put together the team down in Columbus. And what happened here recently is it was a 33-0 vote in the Senate and an 88-0 vote at the House, and it passed. Now, this benefits Lorraine County veterans. This benefits not only Lorraine County, but all 87 other counties has now benefited from just that one meeting. So even though government sometimes takes its time, you know, they can correct some of the issues. And this was just one of those weird issues in Columbus that they kept hearing about. It's like, they did the same thing, like, well, this makes no sense. Why are, you know, and they couldn't realize it was just something, I don't know if it was a loop in the law, or they just didn't have that, they didn't think they had oversight, which they did have oversight through the auditor's office and through us. And it was just one of those neat things that I'm proud to be a part of here in Lorraine County, and Lorraine County should be proud that we actually, as the tail wagged the state, and the state changed the law, and now our veterans will be able to be taken care of. So I'm kind of proud of that. It's something, as you all know, we've been working on that for a while. So I just want to at least let the public know. I know there's been some stories on page B2, and, you know, it's not big headline news, but this affects a lot of people, and it affects 88 counties, and it affects our veterans, and I'm just proud to be a part of that. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for working on that and launching that. I know that I was told by folks in Columbus that Jacob Smith hit it out of the park, and as a director, he did a great job with his testimony and everyone who went down there and testified on it. And there are emergency situations that pop up where you need to be able to get that quick access to get it done, and that's where this credit card access is going to come in. So, thank you.
You just brought them up to the modern day.
Right, exactly, exactly. So,
Continue, Commissioner.
How's that?
okay. At this time, I guess I just want to, you know, we didn't have a meeting last week, so I've got a number of things that I'd like to just update you on. We had the Road to Hope ribbon cutting that took place there in Vermillion. I want to thank this board for its strong contribution to that initiative. It's so important when these mothers are going through their rehabilitation and battling addiction, that each day they look at their children and are able to understand what the most important goal is, to turn their lives around, keep their family together, and take care of their children. So this helps to keep the family units together while they are going through their counseling and getting back on the road to recovery. Jeff Cams and the whole group there did an amazing job, and I know this board's very proud to say that we felt this was very important for our community, and to make that $500,000 investment to make it possible. I know the previous board had asked that another $500,000 at the time be directed there. That was money that was initially earmarked for Recovery One project, which didn't materialize. So, and the legislators in Columbus did an amazing job of making sure that that money stayed on the table and went to the project. So just want to thank everybody involved, but it's makes the community a better place when we can get people back to work, back to making a commitment to their families and to the community. Also, the YWCA held their racial equity agenda meeting at Lorraine County Community College. Very important to recognize that, you know, that we all enter the workday every day of our lives in different ways, and that there are issues that are surfacing that we need to have candid conversations about as it relates to equity in the community. And the YWCA is making sure that those conversations are being held. And thank you to them for their commitment. Memorial Day parades, it's just nice to see everybody out and about and the crowds gathering and saluting our veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice. Had the opportunity to attend the Memorial Day parade in Elyria, then ran over there for the Memorial Day parade in Lorraine. Nice turnout that day. It did get warmer as the day went on, though, but it was enjoyable. The Ohio Assembly with Ford Motor Company making a much-awaited announcement. I know over the years there was always the talk that Ford was going to add an additional project, and there was actually a commitment to doing that. It just seemed like it was taking a long time, and I know I had conversations with Lieutenant Governor John Husted, with Jobs Ohio, governor's office during that period of time. Having served as a legislator and having represented the Ohio Assembly plant, I still have people that I talk to in Detroit, and they kept saying, be patient, be patient, be patient. It's going to happen. And we were patient, we waited, and it did happen. So now, as a result of Ford's investment, which we can't thank them enough, you're looking at a $1.5 billion investment in Ohio Assembly, 1,800 new jobs. I think the current workforce there, when I checked with Jobs Ohio the other day, was around 1,660 as far as employees that are there. But a great sign of the great workforce we have in Lorain County. And I always say that all the time. If you want to build something, bring it here. We have a great work ethic, a great workforce. We can build anything. Just bring it here and we will build it. And so without a good workforce and a good production effort, Ford would never have made the investment. So we really need, at the end of the day, to thank the workers more than anybody else, because they've demonstrated they can do the job, and Ford believes in them, and they're making the investment. The Mums Demand Action held a rally on Saturday. Had the opportunity to speak there. I think it's important to point out the focus is not on the responsible gun owners. I think the whole idea is looking for some responsible gun safety laws, and universal background checks, I think, is something that law enforcement strongly supports, and others in the community. And hopefully one day that'll be embraced by legislators and our leaders in Washington. The Community West Foundation, they've been making their way in the Lorain County and investing in a lot of efforts here. This board had the opportunity recently to work with Community West Foundation as we shared in a partnership for a new van for the Blessing House, which I saw the van the other day, and they made a nice purchase there. Community West Foundation bringing in over, I think, about $270,000, but then there were some additional dollars that came in late for their overall contributions to many groups in Lorain County that are serving our families. So we want to thank Community West Foundation, and we certainly enjoy working in partnership with them. And that completes my lengthy report because of our break last week. And Commissioner Hung?
I just wanted to thank, I don't mean to put you on the spot, Karen, but taking a year to get to know you, because you've been, with us on the new board, Dave and I, and you've been very helpful and nurturing and informative. And I do know after Administrator White was hired, I gave him a specific task for you, and you completed it with flying colors. I was very impressed. So I wanted to just again thank you for taking this on. We appreciate it, and thank you for staying with us. And also too, the state budget, Commissioner Lundy, Senator Nathan Manning was in the paper, and I saw the shout out there to. I just want to give the shout out to the North Ridgeville Veterans Memorial. I see they were awarded $100,000 in that. So they're probably getting pretty close to their goal, but if anybody is interested in helping them out in North Ridgeville, I'm sure you can find information on the Google about that one. So that's completes my report.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still hoping we can find a way to assist with that project as well, too. We have a lot of good veterans projects, and just see if there's a way we can provide assistance. And also wanted to mention Dan Gross, our facilities director, trying to kind of transition the part-time from full-time, so, and, but just want to thank him for what he did in his full-time capacity, so, yeah. So, thank you to him.
Yeah, and the North Ridgeville Memorial, I think the last I heard they had raised 80 and, then the 100 from the state, so they're working towards a 250 goal.
It's a good project, a very good project. Let's see, next we have the clerk's report.
I have nothing.
You have nothing. Okay, but I'll bet you have some board correspondence.
I'll move to waive the board
Thank you.
correspondence.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Commissioner Hung?
Yes,
Commissioner Lundy,
I,
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
okay,
You ever read the board correspondence?
yes, she had, we made her read it.
Read it
with me.
once?
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
And then it was,
She was thrilled with us, me probably.
that's the stare you never want from the clerk, so, okay.
That's because she took a, that's 'cause she took
Don't
a
you
day
dare
off.
make me read that.
and then the minutes made you look really bad the next week.
She will never
Hey.
take a day off again after that.
Yeah, oh my word. Yeah, we'll have a very long meeting if she reads the minutes or correspondence. Well, at this time, I'm going to move,
Nothing.
at this time, I'm going to move that the board go into executive session for the reasons specified by the Assistant County Prosecutor.
A second?
Discussion. Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
And we are back in session. Motion to approve personnel summary sheet.
Second?
Discussion?
Yes?
I'm
I'm sorry.
I think it,
You can, if you don't want to have discussion, you don't have to have discussion. You can just go to the vote. There's no, discussion is discretionary with the chair. So it's up to the chair.
well, I'm trying to have a peaceful week here. Can we just call the vote?
Well, I was going to thank some people, but go ahead.
You want to thank some
Nope,
people?
go ahead.
You can call the vote. That's the choice of the chair.
Okay. Well, can we do that under other business, thanking people?
If you want.
Or do you want to do it under other business, thanking people?
Go ahead.
Okay, we'll call the question.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Hong?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
No.
Okay.
And if you want to know why, talk to me later.
Any other business come before the board? Did you want to thank somebody?
No, not now. I'm good.
Okay. Okay, seeing no other business, then the meeting is adjourned.
Guess I should have stayed longer than